going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode. In this one we got finally get down the base coat and the clear coat on the car, and I'll try to fit the doors and the hatch, the sunroof, fuel door and everything, headlight covers. I'm gonna try to get it all done on this episode, and maybe some troubleshooting if we have to do any of that as far as the paint goes. But first I want to say thank you to a subscriber, a big thank you actually. He goes by FF Mayhem, so shout out to him. The reason being is because he actually sent me a little gift here. Yeah, I can't believe it, you know. My first I don't know, viewer mail, I guess you could say. I already know what it is. I haven't opened it up yet, but I'm just gonna open it up right now, I guess, and we'll check it out. All right. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Here it is right here in this little baggie. Now what this is, well, you can tell already actually, they're racing pedals. Very nice set here. You don't need to see the bolts, but racing pedals for the, they're actually made for the 86. Also, among these pedals, these are according to FF Mayhem, I don't know much about them, but they are of an older generation style of pedal. They're by SRP Racing, and they're all aluminum, so they're very lightweight, and they're made specifically for the AE86. And so what more can you ask, right? So, and I love how they I like the I don't know, the racy look, but the like the used look, kind of. I don't know how to explain it. Like, you know, all this. I like used parts, to be honest with you. I mean, I like new parts too, but for the 86, like I have a my shifter. It's a metal shifter, but I ordered another one that hasn't arrived yet. But it's more vintage looking, and that's kind of what I like, you know. That's what the whole reason I like the 86 is, because it's got that you know, old school appeal to it. So even though I am giving it a new paint job, but still, you know what I'm saying. We'll be installing these in a later episode, not on this one. But man, that's awesome. Thank you so much, FF Mayhem. And whenever you decided to send those to me, I was pretty much at a loss for words other than thank you. And I'm very appreciative of the feedback, I guess, of, you know, me putting the videos out. I never expected anything in return, but to actually, you know, receive something, it's awesome, man. So thank you again, Mayhem. If you want to look him up on Facebook, you know, get in touch with him. He's got some pretty cool things going on his Facebook page. But anyways, now that we've got our one and only viewer mail opened up and done, man, I still can't believe that I actually got something from somebody. So that's cool. So car finally painted. I also painted this white one behind me too, in case you didn't know. It turned out pretty good, and then I wet sand and buffed it as well to make it mirror-like finish. It was actually my first paint job, and it was a tough one because it was a two-part paint job. But the top middle part is black, and the bottom and the rest of the car is white. So I had to do a lot of It was tough because I had to mask off the whole car except for the black areas, then wait for that to dry, and then re-mask off the black area so I can paint the rest of the car white, take all that off, and then clear coat the rest of the car, and clear coat the entire car at once. So, but it was a great learning experience. Anyways, it set me up nicely for this old Toyota. Anyways, guys, like always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the end of the video, okay? Thank you. Alright, I'm going over the car now. I've already sanded it with 400 grit all over the car, and it's just about ready for the base coat, clear coat. But what I'm doing now is I'm just going to go over, looking real carefully. I just got this sandable primer by Plastic Coat, just a 1K primer. But I'm just going to go over and I'm going to look for these little spots like this that I've gone through to bare metal, and I'm just going to touch them up like that. That way the base coat will have something to stick to. Mainly looking for right around like on the edges. Like right here, there's a good spot. So just hit it like that. And when we go back, I'm going to just lightly sand it with 400 grit sandpaper, just to get the roughness out of it. And this stuff is so thin, it would probably be okay without doing that. So here's another area right here inside. You got those like little spot welds right here, and they're a little bit higher usually, so sometimes when you're sanding it'll go through. Like right here, it went through a little bit. Alright guys, this is on the roof here. You can see how, I don't know what happened, but there's some kind of reaction with the paint there. It kind of bubbled up or something. Kind of see. But it's really hard to see it on camera, but me just standing here and looking at it, you can see it real easily. So this is one of those unfortunate things that happens when you're painting, and I don't know really what happened there, but what I'm going to have to do is wait for it to dry, about 30 minutes. Then I'm going to have to go back and sand that down very lightly, and get that out, and then I'll have to repaint that. So that sucks. That's my first coat. So you kind of put your first coat on there and see what you can find, see if any type of things like that, and oh, there it is. You can't, wait, let me see if I can find it again. Right there. And back away. It's just a small area on the roof, but I want to try to fix that before I put the second coat on there, and before I put any clear coat on. Yep. Look at that, guys. This is one mistake leading to another. What I did was, you know, I showed you that little spot. So what I did was I went with 400 grit and knocked it down, which was just this little area right here. And what I did, and to clean up the sanding, the residue, what I did was I got rubbing alcohol and wiped it off, and then that caused the paint right here to come off. So it kind of smeared out, so I had to take the 400 grit, go over this again, and sand off all the bad areas to where this is smooth again. So hopefully now, I did the second coat on the rest of the car, but on the hood I did not do the second coat yet because I wanted to take care of this first. So hopefully that will solve that problem. So we'll find out here in a minute. Also, I had a similar thing right here. So that's why that is like that, is because I had a similar situation in the front here. So let's cross our fingers. All right, everyone, here it is. It's looking good. 2 coats of base coat. I think I got the problem pretty much taken care of. I can't see anything. I'm happy with the turnout. I like watching the flat turn into gloss, so I thought maybe you guys would like it too. Alright guys, here it is. 3 coats of clear. Everything turned out pretty good. I'm gonna wait and do the hood later. I've noticed a couple of areas. If you look right here in the glare, you can see like right there, and also right, yeah, well, you can't really, where did it go? Oh, right there. It's very faint on the camera, but when you're standing here and you hit a glare, hit the right angle on it, you can see it pretty easily. So I'm going to have to, I'm just going to redo the hood, to be honest with you. I'm not happy with how it turned out, but the rest of the car turned out great. Those areas up here on the top, there is one little dust speck. You see that little dust speck? Yeah, but everything else is cool. Over here, turned out good. That little area that kind of scared me a little bit there turned out good. Got 3 coats of clear, so looking really nice. I wish you guys could see this in real life, because the camera just doesn't do it justice, obviously, but I know that's cliche, but it's true. Here's the quarters, here's the other side. Ended up with a few little dust specks, you know. Here's one right here. That might sand out, I don't know, when I do the sand and buff. But here it is, man. Jams turn out really nice, and so far so good. So I'm going to get these cars put back in the garage before it starts raining. But I'll redo the hood whenever I do the doors, the exterior door, sunroof, headlight panel, fenders. So, you know, no big deal. And lo and behold, I spoke too soon. Another problem has arisen. Show you right there. That clear ran all the way from about right here to there. Oh man, I thought I was home free. So I let the clear coat cure just for a little bit, to where it's, you know, you can touch it and it'd be okay. But the reason why I did that was because I need to remove this masking, all the masking off, because I like to do it when it's still a little bit fresh. That way, you have a less risk of, like when you're taking the tape off, a less risk of it peeling some of the paint off of the areas that you don't want it to come off. So that's what I like to do. If you wait until it gets hard, I don't know. I think you might have a slight risk of it coming off with the tape. So that's just my theory, though. I'm not really sure. I might have heard that somewhere, but so I'm gonna go ahead and see about removing this nice and slowly. Yeah, it's thick. And there's a bunch of dust too, so that's why I like to wait until the clear coat has cured just a little bit. That way all that dust will come off. Okay, here's the setup. I got the 2 fenders hanging, sunroof, 2 doors, hood over there, hatch. It's taking up the entire garage. Been working on this all day, trying to get everything ready to go. It's been quite a hassle just to get everything ready. I got the hinges right here. I'm going to do those all at the same time, everything at the same time. So it's going to be quite the task here. So we'll see how it goes. It'll be interesting. Hopefully I'll just hopefully I can keep from bumping into stuff. But all right guys, I have done 2 coats of clear on all these pieces except for the hood. The hood, I've only done 1 coat of clear on it because I had an issue that I had to wait for the paint to dry a little bit longer, because I put another coat on there because I had some tiger striping on there. I should have took a picture of it, but I didn't. I'm sorry. The tiger stripes, you can probably Google that. And anyways, I got everything going. Everything is looking satisfactory. Only except for the hood, I'm really upset about it. Like you can see right there, in fact, the very top. You see that little dent right there? Man, I tell you what, I don't know what the heck colored that. I block sanded. Thought I did everything, you know, the right way, but I ended up with that little dent there. The clear coat makes it look look a lot worse, or it just, well, it doesn't make it look a lot worse, because it is how it is, but it definitely accentuates any type of bumps that you're gonna have, especially on a dark car. You're just not gonna be able to have any type of errors like that. But the good news is I'm going to I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna get it done, and I'll just have to redo it later, you know, some other time. Hopefully it won't be as noticeable when it's on the car. But I don't know. We'll see how it looks. Everything else is turning out good. There's having a little bit of overspray problems on the clear with the headlight covers, but you know, I'll just have to really lay a good thick 3rd coat on there, and hopefully a lot of that's going to wet sand and buff out of there. And also you've noticed I've kind of leaned everything up, turned everything vertical except for the hatch, but I've been having issues whenever I was leaning over to paint the gun. For some reason it was the paint wasn't coming out as good or as well as whenever you leave the gun horizontal to the ground. So that's why I've leaned things up. On the doors, they're not touching the ground. If I was to leave it like that, it would stick to the masking paper there, and it would be a horrible job. So what I've done was I've put wood on the they're just resting on a piece of block, on a block that's keeping it off the ground. Let me show you right here. See, there's a piece of wood. It's on the inside part, so it's not actually touching the lip. So it's sitting about 1.5 inches off the ground, and then I've just got it resting on one of the pieces there. So they're turning out good. This hood is just driving me crazy, man. When you're up close to it, it's not as bad, but you can kind of see it right there. So anyways, like I said, I'm going to show you all the good stuff, and I'll show you all the bad stuff too, and that's just how it is. it's really nice to redo these hinge areas. I mean, look at all this rust. That's terrible. Here's the other one below it. Here it is grinded down. It's looking really nice, and here it is painted. So I definitely recommend this. Now, where were we? Alright, now got the door. I took the tape off just this part right here, so I can tell, you know, how I need to adjust it. It actually looks pretty good right now. It's a little bit more gap up here, but that's kind of how it was when it was in primer stage. It was tough. It was a little bit difficult for me to get a really nice gap like uniform, but I think I'm pretty happy with that. You know, you can't really, it's not going to really jump out at you unless, I guess, unless you're looking for something like that. The reason why I'll leave it like it is right now is because it's tough to line this up right here, and the very bottom. Hang on, let me take you off the tripod here. The very bottom gap right here, if I was to move this back right here, then I would lose gap right here, and I would probably end up touching right here, and that would not be good, obviously. So this right here is lined up perfectly. I got this lined up perfectly right here. I guess I really need to put the fender on and see how it's lining up with the fender, but of course you can work with that as well. So I think it's going to be good, just like it is. And another difficult area is this right here. I know you wouldn't think that normally, but it is for some reason, or at least on my car it is. But so yeah, kind of liking that for now. Anyways, we'll see how it goes.
Alright guys, man, this video almost did not get made. I was pulling out of my driveway, and yeah, we had a big windstorm the other day, so we had a bunch of trees fall all throughout the neighborhood, so everybody's got their little trees sitting in front of their house. But as I was pulling out of my driveway, my rim fell off, my wheel completely fell off, and was scraping on the ground. Luckily there was no damage done to the fender, so I got lucky. But I was using a different wheel, and I guess the lug nuts weren't catching the studs all the way, so eventually they just kind of gave up, and they didn't grab well enough. So, but anyway, I wanted to get it outside so you can see it. And here it is. Just got a couple things installed, like the hood, the headlight buckets, the fenders, the doors, as you saw in the video. I did the fenders and the doors, but and the hatch, I hinged the hatch, and but I haven't latched it yet. I haven't put the latch on, so I got these little foam things there to protect it from bouncing up and down and messing up the paint. It's really dusty right now too. You can see in the dust, but you can kind of get an idea of the paint job. It looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it, overall. I'll call it a success. So there's a couple of minor things that I wasn't too crazy about, like on the hood. You can't really, it's actually harder to see outside. Let me see if I can find it again. Right there. So that, and also on the door. Let's see. There's a spot right somewhere in the middle here, and it's kind of sticks out. There it is, right there. Kind of see it, but it's not bad for a little garage paint job, Yeah. Damn, I hope I didn't bend that fender there. Son of a bitch. I think it's okay, but yeah, it's a little bit dusty, but as I said already, but I wanted to get out here in the natural light so you can kind of see it. You can't really tell. I mean, it's going to look a lot better with everything else on it, but let me turn it off here. It's going to look a lot better with all the trim and the lights and everything on it, and the bumpers. So I'll explain. They always know when I'm filming, but here it is, man. Don't have the hood latched all the way because I need to fix my hood hinge, or my the cable. The cable is not cooperating right now, so anyway, here it is, guys. I keep saying that, I'm sorry, but let me see if I can get a couple of different angles of it. But anyways, thanks again for watching, guys. Of course, I appreciate everybody and their support. Also, again, thanks to FF Mayhem for the gift. Definitely will be using those, and look forward to the install in a future episode. And what else am I forgetting? I guess I'll be putting things back together, and also we're gonna we'll do the body kit, and then I'm gonna lower the suspension as well, give it the nice sporty look. And I think I'm gonna do the homemade version, and so that'll be a whole episode, or maybe even 2 episodes. So look forward to that. Remember to like and subscribe, guys. I appreciate it. And as always, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.